Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well, wherever you are. I just want to play this video by Raila'S because I think the statements that he made in this gathering was quite astounding. He basically said that he and his followers, the Azimio followers, will be withdrawing power that is donated to the representatives, okay? Because he said he wants to exercise, the people want to exercise their power directly, their sovereign power directly. But I think that statement has a lot of questions, question marks in it. That's not, we can dissect it, but I'll let you listen to this video first before I come in and try to explain what's going on here. Here's the video.
Secondly, we have also said that the people of Kenya have a right to picket, to demonstrate, to petition. And that is what we are doing right now. We've said also that this is a right enshrined in our Constitution. The Constitution also says at Article 1 that the sovereignty in the Republic of Kenya is vested in the people of Kenya. And the people can either exercise it directly or through their elected representatives. Today we have launched the movement to collect signatures from Kenyans so that they can say that they are withdrawing their delegation of powers to the elected leaders and taking it to themselves. It is the first in history. We know that the authors of our Constitution did not put that particular article in vain. And we are going to invoke that article to delegitimize this regime. We will collect signatures from Kenyans, and I've said we will also form an electoral commission, and we will carry out a referendum to delegitimize this regime. Then the other one is the issue of auditing of the servers. The rest is now history. We will not allow Kenya Kwanza to kill constituent parties of Azimio. Therefore, end by once again thanking Kenyans for remaining steadfast and tell them stay tuned. Thank you very much.
All right, now that you've listened to this statement, he claims that they're collecting these 10 million signatures that will help remove Ruto and remove any power, people who are in power. That way the people can exercise their power, their sovereign power directly. The problem is, under that same Article 1, I think under 3, it says that the power that have been donated to the people, representative, is through legislative branch, executive, and judiciary. So when he says the people want to exercise their power directly, does he mean the representative through the legislative body, which comprises of the parliament, the MPs and the senators? Are they to relinquish their power? Should the judiciary relinquish their power? And should the executive, the president and deputy president, relinquish their power due to these 10 million votes? 10 million signatures that they want to collect? Is that quite the process of the law to recall these people? The answer is an astounding no, okay? These 10 million signatures, I don't know why they're collecting them, because there's no referendum. Okay, he claims that these 10 million signatures are to call for a referendum. Well, in order to have a plebiscite, there has to be a motion. What are we voting on? Yes or not? What's the motion? Okay? There's none. We're not told. Then, in the second part of what he said, he actually, he's basically confirming what I've been talking about, that Raila is trying to operate outside the law. Remember, I told you that during these talks, the Azimio side were trying to create something that's not anchored in law, okay? And the Kenya Kwanza told them, hey, listen, we cannot agree on anything. We cannot have a resolution signed by both parties because what you guys are proposing are not within the perimeters of the law. And that's what led Otiende Amolo, who's the head of the Azimio, part of the bipartisan talks committee, to withdraw from the talks, and they headed to Mandamano. So now you see Raila Odinga is talking about they will form their own commission. They will have their own referendum. Again, it's well and good. You can collect 10 million signatures, but that does not constitute a referendum. It's not a plebiscite vote, okay? Because there's no motion. And number two, the IEBC has no commission. They haven't chosen any commission. So how can we have electoral reform if you don't even have commissioners selected yet, okay? So that's what's problematic about what Raila is saying. And it confirms what I've said before, that Raila and the Azimio side, they're trying to operate outside of the law. And that's the problem. So in reality, I think this is a nice talk, but he cannot actualize what he's saying. You can gather all the 10 million votes you want, but it will take you nowhere. You cannot go to court and say, hey, this is enough evidence to show that people are tired of our representative. There's ways to do it. If you want to remove the president and his deputy, there's Article 145 and 150 respectively. You can go through. It has to go through impeachment, through the legislative body, a legislative process, which clearly states the grounds in which you can impeach the deputy president and the president, okay? So this whole idea of what he's talking about, it's, for a lack of a better term, let me use the word that we're all familiar with, like hot air, okay? So none of it will most likely happen, okay? Now, like I say, Raila has only one bullet left, and that's Mandamano. The problem of this Mandamano is this. For how long will it go on? Because now he clearly states from that statement he just read, he just spoke in that video clip that I just played, you can see that their main aim was electoral process, okay? And what? The server and all that, okay? We all know, I explained in my previous video that the process of getting this server open or to be forensically audited, you need to have an IBC, head of IBC, commissioners there that you can only remind and recommend that they do this. You cannot tell them what to do because IBC is an independent body. So the parliament, the legislative body cannot tell IBC what to do. They can only recommend that they open this server. So Ruto has no power to open these servers, okay? But according to Raila Odinga, he says these are the things that he wants. But anyway, so let's go to Mandamano. Like I said, legally, Raila's claims have no standing. He cannot go to court or through the legislative body and actually have anything move, actualize any of his demands, okay? So he's only left with Mandamano. The problem with Mandamano, like I said, yesterday was Sabasaba. There was a good turnout, but again, I said, there were different folks that went to that Mandamano and they had different agendas. Some people were protesting because of the high price of living. Some people were protesting just because Sabasaba has a historical significance, okay? And I explain why, you know? And there's some people like the Azimio side who actually want to give Ruto hell. They want to bring Ruto down. So everybody that went to the Sabasaba had a different agenda. Now, if I was to have any clairvoyance, okay, of what will happen in the future, I would say this Mandamano, when they continue, the longer they continue, because apparently it's going to be one every week, because Raila told us there will be another Mandamano on Wednesday. When I saw the Mandamano yesterday, there were people who actually were walking on their way to work, and they were complaining that this Mandamano is actually kind of messing up their whole routine. You know, imagine if you have a shop and you're trying to open your shop, but you can't because of the mess that's happening in Mandamano. Imagine if you're trying to go to work and Thika Road is closed and you're in a matatu and the matatu has been stoned. There's tear gas everywhere. You can't make it on time. Now you can't go to work. If you can't go to work, you won't get paid. Okay? So this mandamano, yes, it might cause destabilize some governmental functions or businesses or the economy. But the problem is, the longer it goes, it might actually turn against the mandamano organizers, the Raila. Because people will be like, okay, we've been going to Mandamano every week for a month or 2 months, but nothing seems to be moving. Economically, we cannot run our business. Government cannot provide services because of the disruption by the chaotic Mandamano, the chaos that Mandamano is causing. We are having people run around in CBD with tear gas and, nothing can go on. The country is in a standstill. And people might actually turn against Raila and be like, listen, you expect this government to bring the cost of living down, to provide services, but now you're sabotaging that. You're making things stop. So no, you have to stop this mandamano so we can go on with our lives, because guess what? I have to feed my family. I have to go to work and I have to feed my family and my kids, okay? So this mandamano is not feeding me. So again, the longer this mandamano happens, goes on, it will actually play against Raila. In my view, I don't think they will destabilize the government to a point where Ruto will say, hey, listen, I'm stepping down because it's too much. Now, that's the problem. From the beginning, I say, whoever is advising Raila is not advising him right. I keep on maintaining Raila needs to step back from the scene and let others rule, okay? His time is up. Because whoever is advising him is giving him the wrong advice. You see what the Kenya Kwanza are doing. Kenya Kwanza are busy getting more MPs, senators, governors to switch up, to come to the Kenya Kwanza position. The problem with Azimio, as I wrap up, in order to get a nomination, you have to pay ODM or Azimio members a huge sum of money. In order to go to Kenya Kwanza, you'll probably get bribed. I'm just saying, based on what Osoro said. So why should I go to Azimio where I have to pay to get a nomination, while I can wait for Ruto to come in or Osoro to give me something small and I'll join Kenya Kwanza? See the difference? But anyway, I'm just oversimplifying what's going on out there. But what I'm saying is this. Kenya Kwanza are 3 steps ahead of Azimio. They are operating within the law. Yes, when it comes to government services and the promises they've given us, we can talk about that. That's another argument altogether. But I'm saying in the wrangles, the fight, okay, the tussle between these 2 political vehicles, Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, Azimio are disadvantaged. They can only operate outside the law, which gives Kenya Kwanza the advantage because the government, the people who have the power, has the monopoly to violence. I'm not saying that they should use the violence against Azimio, but I'm just saying legally, Kenya Kwanza are doing everything right, even though they are not delivering according to what, as it stands right now. Azimio are operating outside the law. And in the long term, if they continue to with this Azimio, with the Mandamanos, the people are most likely going to turn against them. People will start saying, why can't you just let this government, give them a chance? Let's see what they can do. They have 4 years left. Let's see if they can deliver. If they don't deliver, we'll get them out. But trying to start your own commission, gathering 10 signatures that you know will take you nowhere, is just taking people for a ride. But anyway, that's my assessment of Raila'S statement there. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, share, like, and comment. Tell me what you think. Give me a shout in the comment box, okay? I'll talk to you guys later, and peace.